der Welt. Er war zweimal Sieger auf der Challenge Tour und hat im letzten Jahr das Halbfinale beim European Tour Event in Maastricht erreicht. Aus England, the Madhouse, Richie Edhouse.
In the middle of our street, our house. In the middle of our house, it has a crowd. There's always something happening and it's usually quite loud. Our mum, she's so house proud. Nothing ever slows her down and a mess is not allowed. Our house, in the middle of our street. Our house, in the middle of our house.
Und Leverkusen, jetzt wird's Zeit, die Tanzschuhe rauszuholen, denn wir begrüßen einen Mann, er ist 24 Jahre jung. Er stand bei der WM und im Grand Slam im Viertelfinale und ist der zweifache und amtierende PDC World Youth Champion. Aus Belgien, the Dreammaker, Dimitri van den Bergh.
Come tonight, this one followed by the clash of former world champions, the bronzed Adonis Steve Beaton and the five-time world champ Raymond van Barneveld in a huge weekend for RVB. Then it's another England versus the Netherlands clash with the wanderer Wayne Jones and Vincent van der Voort. But I genuinely think that these are tough ones to call, because a lot of people may just be writing off Richie Edhouse, but he has been playing some very good stuff. Obviously, he's qualified for this. He had a run to a last 16 on the Pro Tour. He's at 9 data this year. And Dimitri, despite going and making his first Pro Tour final this year, and everybody going, hallelujah, Dimitri van den Bergh has solved the problem. He shall now dominate the floor tournaments and show us that big stage game that he seems to pull out every time he gets the opportunity. Well, it hasn't really happened since then. Not much has really happened for Dimitri since he made that final on the Pro Tour, only beaten by the man we've just seen book his place in round 2. There is Kirk Shepherd. Bevins, what's his name?
Game on.
Refereeing Kirk Shepherd.
There we go.
Yeah, difficult game this for Dimitri, because I don't think Richie has been more settled or more confident in his life and his game than he has been in the last few months. His new manager, Tom Cousins, is from the Hastings area, of course, of East Sussex. And Richie has made the move to go down there and focus on his darts a lot more, and it's paying dividends. Let's face it. The club that he practices at, I have actually been down there, and it's an impressive place because they have a real emphasis on pros like Richie going in there and being left alone and having the space to prepare the way they want to prepare, the way they want to practice. And I was talking to Richie a couple of hours ago, and he just looked really relaxed, really ready. He's played on the European Tour before, of course. He played very well last year in Maastricht. Probably should have gone a little bit further.
93.
But it's all about the now for Richie. He feels like he's doing everything right. And after winning a Challenge Tour and having opportunities to get to places like this,
66.
I think the life of Richie Edhouse is probably just going to get better from here.
Yeah, look, I think that you know, we've seen players do it before. They've dropped off the main tour, gone to the Challenge Tour, and something has just clicked. They've rediscovered a winning formula that had been eluding them while playing on the main tour, and they've actually looked more dangerous when they've stepped up from the Challenge Tour.
95.
And it's not as if Richie Edhouse wasn't dangerous when he was on the full tour, because he was.
Where does Dimitri go here? Bullseye? No. Well, treble 17 now.
36. Richie
Is that what he
76.
thought he wanted?
I think picked the bones out of that one, but we do know that Richie Edhouse has got double 8 left. Ooh, that was so close.
56.
Maybe that dart for him was a little too close to the requisite bed. And Dimitri's definitely going for 20 in double 18 here, staying up top. He does get that.
Dimitri van den Bergh.
And I mentioned
Second leg is
picking the
Dimitri
bones out of a
reverse.
shot. Well, I've got a bone to pick
Game
with Richie, actually. Because I don't know what that change of walk-on song was all about, because he had the best one to start with in Let's Get Ready to Rumble by PJ and Duncan.
Big fan of Anton Deck? I mean, is this just some sort of northeast solidarity that
Absolutely.
you have to show? Right,
Absolutely.
100.
The only reason I didn't use it is because he had it. And you don't use a second-hand walk-on song. It's just not the given thing.
Okay. Well, Glenn Durrant is a little bit sad that he doesn't get to come on to Pig Bag.
93.
Well,
He's walking to the BDO.
he's got a fair bit to be sad about at the minute. Well, not his game or his position in darts, but changing colour shirts.
100.
Nothing to be sad about there. Plenty of red for Edhouse, but it's the red that Durrant is not going to wear going forward. He's chosen a nice shade of blue and black. And new walk-on song as well. Maybe new beginnings in the PDC. What a response from Van den Bergh.
Yeah, really, really strong response from Van den Bergh. He does hit a lot of those scores, the 177s, the 174s, likes to switch around to the other big trebles. May look at that treble 18 again here. No, went for the 20s.
Surprised because he's a young kid with
21.
forward thinking. And I'm surprised he didn't go 54 first there. No shot at bullseye for Richie.
97.
He does lead double 12.
76.
So pressure on Van den Bergh again. Will he utilise that double 18 once more? He doesn't need to.
Next door to it, and double 4 would help.
72. Richie
Can't find it.
24.
And Edhouse can break straight back. Oh, that is right on the wire, that last one at the double 6. But that's not close enough, Richie, as you well know.
Costly. And with his thin points, it looks even closer somehow. That one's in though. Van den Bergh is scraping this one, courtesy of misses from Richie. But Richie's action hasn't changed ever since he won his first Q school. It's always been very Hamilton-esque with that pronounced prod forward and then a lovely follow through on the actual throw.
Yeah, a bit quicker than the hammers, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit more speedy.
Yeah, the same trigger movement, if you like.
99.
Yeah, Madhouse has gone for a nice shade of blue and black. Maybe that's the colours for 2019.
Why has Glenn ditched the red? I mean, I thought that was so close to his heart with the whole Middlesbrough colours.
There's Kim, who wears the Belgian colours, just like Dimitri, but I think his shirt was so similar to a football
39.
shirt. There is a rule within the PDC that you're not allowed to wear football colours, or something that resembles a football shirt.
Has that really been enforced with Glenn Durrant's shirt? Wow.
60.
I'll investigate further.
There are a couple of shirts that do resemble.
120.
I mean, look at Richie's shirt. You could probably say that looks like some sort of incarnation of a Coventry City shirt. That one looks like the national Belgian shirt.
Does indeed.
45. Richie required 103.
Suppose it's how you interpret it. Well, you interpret 103. First of all, you leave 88. Don't get a shot at double 14.
95.
But it's good enough. Got to fix those misses at doubles, because it can become really infectious.
105.
Especially now
Richie
his
required 8.
opponent is on a 2-darter.
Edge on
There you
third
go.
leg, Richie
And he's only 3 legs in,
Fourth leg is Dimitri
but
to
you
throw
don't want to
first.
show those
Game
kinds of frustration to someone like Dimitri, because he'll gobble you up.
And he is only 3 legs in, but he has missed darts in the 2 that he lost.
82.
And Edhouse will be feeling that he could well be 3-0 up
100.
and have taken a big step towards a second round clash with Adrian Lewis, the most recent winner on the PDC Tour, picking up his title on Sunday, first title for nearly 2 years.
Yeah, it's encouraging to see Adrian winning again. 25. I say that again. 25 Pro Tour titles. That includes these majors, of course.
60.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Adrian, of course, a man who has won a Euro Tour title as well.
European Championship as well.
Yep.
Culmination event. But it's been a long time since he won a Euro Tour title.
Wow.
2.
2 maximums in this leg from Dimitri van den Bergh. Is he getting his act together here?
96. Dimitri required 84.
He's going for treble 16 here.
Oh, hello. Hello, double for double.
Audacious. That's a little bit of the tour down under, hitting a 10-darter and going out on bullseye. Dimitri van den Bergh.
And did that against Phil Taylor in a final in that
Yeah.
exhibition, didn't he?
That was class.
10-darter on the ball to beat Phil Taylor in a final. Yes, I know it's an exhibition, but takes chops, that does.
Not sure Phil felt that was prudent, but that double 8 is good for a 3-1 lead.
Fifth leg is Richie to throw
But there are
first.
times in your life, I'm not just talking about darts either, there are times in your life where you have an ability to express yourself.
92.
And that moment where he left 50 after 9 and he went bull against Phil Taylor to win the event, I don't mind that at all. I think that was just
140.
confidence, exuberance, showmanship, call it whatever you want. It was absolutely fabulous.
55.
The shoe was on the other foot, and I'm not being bitter. Phil did that to Gary Mawson once to win 10-0.
108.
Well, someone's finding that 60 all of a sudden.
Yeah, this is a little bit more like it from Dimitri. But Richie gives him one back. 5 180s and a 174 in this game already. We're only in the 5th leg. Won't hit one here.
Well, you can leave that 50 again.
130.
Oh, you got it the wrong way around. Should have hit the 51 to leave 50. And it would have been a 10-darter again.
94.
Gotta get this 51.
51.
This has been an excellent leg of darts from both players.
Double 16. Next door for double 8.
35.
And his World Cup of Darts teammate looks on slightly anxiously. The reason anxious
40.
is that Edhouse really could have made that 3-2, and it's another leg where Edhouse gets a dart at a double, misses it, and Dimitri's there to mop up, and does do. It's 4-1.
Sixth leg is Dimitri to throw first.
Well, it's turning into one of those games that was ever so slightly eloquently put by Richie Burnett. It's one of those games where you could potentially lose 6-3 and you should have won 9-0.
Well, Richie will be feeling something
58.
like that because he has had darts to win every single leg bar one.
Does look fairly frustrated at the minute, Richie. He's got every right to feel that way. The one thing that Dimitri is not going to look back. The more gifts he gets, the more he's going to take. In the words of many a pundit, this is not a tickling contest. This is a game of who hits those doubles. And if you're going to miss, the other guy's going to hit. You're going to get hurt. I like that little shift to the right there. He's trying to slide it down the barrel, a la Simon Whitlock and Kyle Anderson. They're the two who do that the most.
Yeah, the Simon Whitlock half step. Just changes your angle of approach slightly, but it just means instead of looking at the dart, the previous marker dart straight on, you're coming at it from an angle, and it's basically longer. You've got more of the dart to catch and slide down into that target area. If it's a good lie, it makes sense. And again, we see Dimitri switch down after finding 2 in the treble 20. He does do that a lot.
I don't mind that because you don't get extra rewards for the amount of 180s that you hit. Yes, they're fabulous, but ultimately it's about putting yourself in the position to win the leg. He's looking for 134 here, gets it.
434.
Well, I don't think Dimitri's going to go straight at the bull in this instance.
60. Dimitri require 50.
Well, he did go double-double earlier when he didn't need to.
True say.
Now this time he's not going to go for the bull correctly.
On the sick leg,
And
Dimitri
he is
Vandenberg.
within one.
Seven leg is
Doesn't
Richie
give
through first.
Richie a
Game
shot and a double in that leg. And Dimitri is just playing a little bit more consistently. That average of 93 for Dimitri is a steady game for him. We know that he's got more gears than that, but we know that Richie's got a lot more than 84 in the locker. It just hasn't been the Richie Edhouse of the last couple of months this
96.
evening.
No, not quite, but it's those missed darts at double, 1 out of 7, that have really hurt him.
140.
Do you remember when Richie Edhouse was playing against Rusty Jake Rodriguez in Vienna? And he was possibly the most hated person in the multiversum that evening, playing against a 16-year-old kid. He was on a hiding to nothing, Richie Edhouse, and he did nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's always a tough one playing the host nation qualifiers, but particularly when they happen to be an actual child. I remember seeing Nico Bloom getting incredible support and winning his first game of the year.
Yeah, Josh Payne was his opponent.
You're right.
That was in Saarbrücken, which we will frequent next month.
And it looks like Dimitri Vandenberg
120.
is going to be booking his place in the second round. A mouth-watering clash with Adrian Lewis, because a single 20 leaves double top to finish it with a 12-dart leg.
100.
Did not give it enough there, did he?
116.
One match dart missed.
Didn't save a needed, and that ain't going to do it.
Kind of how this game has gone for Richie
42.
Edhouse. A
Dimitri
very
require
frustrating
20.
encounter, one where he will feel he's only got himself to blame for not having a healthy lead early on, which could have entirely changed the course of this contest. Dimitri's pins double 4 after splitting the 10, and it's a 6-1 win, and an apology of a celebration for the Dream Maker, but no apology needed. He has averaged up towards the high 90s there in the end. Once he got his scoring form going, Dimitri Vandenberg looked pretty dangerous, and he may well have to be dangerous tomorrow when the 2-time world youth champion clashes with the 2-time world champion as the Dream Maker faces Jackpot in what could be a cracker. We've got 2 crackers coming up for you to round off day 1 of the European Darts Open. Wayne Jones and Vincent van der Voort clash in the final game of the night. But before that, the bronzed Adonis and Barney, 2 legends of the game, go head-to-head.
Dimitri Vandenberg zum Einzug in die zweite Runde. Dimitri, Average von um die 95 Punkte, 6-1 Sieg. Ist das so der erste Auftritt bei einem Turnier, wie man ihn sich wünscht?
Der Sieg ist, was man sich wünscht. Also das habe ich ja geschafft. Ich bin natürlich sehr stolz darauf. Es war ja der erste European Tour, das ich jetzt gespielt habe nach dem letzten Jahr. Es hat mich echt fast ein Jahr gedauert, bis ich mal wieder da bin. Hallo. Leute, ich habe euch vermisst. Ich habe euch echt richtig vermisst. Danke, dass ihr wieder alle da seid. Saugeil. Dankeschön.
Ich glaube, Leverkusen und die European Tour, das Publikum, sie haben dich auch vermisst. In der zweiten Runde, Match gegen Adrian Lewis. Ich würde sagen, da hat Leverkusen was, worauf sich freuen kann, oder?
Ja klar. Adrian wird sein Spiel machen, ich werde mein Spiel machen. Ich weiß, dass ich gegen ihn gewinnen kann. Ich habe es schon mal gemacht. Also was ich jetzt heute und morgen machen muss, ist mich wieder voll auf mein Spiel fokussieren und dann wieder mein Bestes geben. Aber trotzdem hoffe ich, dass jeder von euch alle mich unterstützen werde. Ich danke euch wirklich.
Wir gratulieren und sagen viel Glück in der zweiten Runde dem Dreammaker Dimitri van den Bergh. Und damit herzlich willkommen zurück bei den European Darts Open 2019. Wir sind